Up, everybody? You know how we are around here. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I'm gonna make this nice and simple. Haven't posted in a few days because I've been cooking up a banger of a video with my boy SJ Lifting Association. I give credit where credit is due. He edited this entire video by himself. So without further ado, thanks for tuning into the video. Like and subscribe and get ready for the best video of 2025, baby. See you in the next one.
From bars across the globe to the professional tables in front of thousands of people, arm wrestling has taken the world by storm as the ultimate display of technique and power. And yeah, it's still the best way to prove you're right in an argument between you and your buddy. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new series on my channel that I'm calling Wondrous Workouts, where I go and try and find the most niche, interesting, and out there workouts I can, led by an expert in that field. This is Ronan. And today, I was lucky enough to get taken in and coached by a real professional arm wrestler, and even challenge him at the end to see if I could really master arm wrestling in one day.
What's up, YouTube? We are back again. This is going to be a pretty fun fucking episode of the Cut series. I am here with arm wrestling prodigy.
Thanks for having me, everybody. Welcome to the channel.
And who am I with?
My name's Ronan. I run a arm wrestling channel. Arm wrestling's kind of my thing. It's my little niche. Thanks for clicking on the video, and I'm gonna run Steven Jackson through a little arm wrestling workout, and let's hope he survives.
And he was right to question whether I was going to survive or not, because the exercises that we had coming up were some of the most pain-inducing arm movements I've ever done in my entire life. Types of pressure I didn't even know I could feel in my hands, tendons, and even fingers. The thing with Ronan is, he's the real deal. He's won medals, smashed tons of local competitors, and has some of the most developed forearms for his size that I've ever seen. He lives and breathes arm wrestling in competition, and he wasn't going to let me skate by with bad form or below average effort. I'd really done it to myself with this one.
So you are, how long have you been arm wrestling now?
Ooh, I have been kind of like in the know of the arm wrestling game for, I guess, 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I took a little break because I was recovering from surgery. But yeah, no, I've been in the know, but I've been competing for a little under a year. I'm still quite relatively new, but all I do is arm wrestling training.
At the top there, it says top 5 in Canada.
Yeah,
so if you had to rank yourself in Canada
dude,
right now for your age group, where are you putting yourself?
dude, no, number one. You know what? Screw it. I'm
That's
already
right.
number one. Try and beat me. No one can beat me.
That's the energy.
we got the ego.
Dude, you heard him. If there's any arm wrestlers out there that want to take on this guy, he's ready to accept the challenge.
Let's do it, man. Where I live, this is where I train, this is where I eat, sleep. This is where the magic happens, right? This is where the magic happens. You guys can't see it, but behind the camera, that's where the setup is. Hopefully you guys can see the arm wrestling table. That's just where a lot of training happens. Got a lot of stuff on the floor, a lot of weights on the floor. This is just homework. This is what I classify as homework. This isn't my main part of training. My main part of training is obviously arm wrestling, but this is just homework. This is the extra. This is the cream on the crop kind of add-ons from my competitors.
It's
right?
the hours that people don't see.
It's the stuff that people don't see. That's what makes you better than everyone else, right? So
we're gonna get into it. My arms are gonna hurt. It's gonna be a lot of forearm and bicep.
Oh,
right?
Forearm, bicep, hand, fingers.
Hand and fingers.
Hand, fingers.
I don't think I've ever done a hand day before.
You're gonna feel it. Hand, fingers, thumbs, a lot of bones, a lot of tendons.
And this guy was serious. When I tell you that my hands were raw afterwards is an understatement. Ronan really pushed me to my limit with this workout, and the interesting exercises still have me hurting a week after.
The first exercise that we're gonna be getting into is, remember how we were talking about that pronation?
Yes.
So pronation is the art of arm wrestling where you are resisting from your palm being face up to the ceiling or towards your face. So pronation would be taking, if your hand were to be facing you, you'd be twisting it towards this way. So that would be pronation. It is a pronation back pressure kind of lift, right? You don't know what back pressure is, but it's essentially what it means in the name is how much pressure can you pull back,
Okay.
right? So it's a strap around my thumb. So when I pull, the strap wants to pull my hand and take my pronation, and back pressure with the strap coming vertically.
While we were getting set up for the first lift, I wanted to ask Ronan some questions about the form for arm wrestling, as I thought you kind of just want to pull to the side, right? It turns out the reason why this lift is especially important is because it's more of a full body sink that you want to pull towards yourself with, clearing up the common misconception that arm wrestling isn't just about pressuring the sides.
What do we got here for the second exercise, my friend?
So we started off with our back pressure pronation lift. This ties a little bit of back pressure. A lot of arm wrestling, you know, people think it's just to the side. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. It's tug of war with another person. We call it your riser.
Okay.
All right. So pretty much that is the ability to keep your wrist up. This is to keep this high ground, right? Because if your wrist is down, you're at a disadvantage because the other opponent has leverage over your hand and over your height. So what this is it's called a riser lift or a posting, right? So pretty much it's the ability to keep the high ground on your opponent, to get that high ground, to get over his hand, to keep that leverage. And it goes in between the knuckles of your index and, well, the two knuckles of your index. And it's essentially just this. That's all it is. It's just another back pressure, hammer curl, but it's a totally different pressure. And you keep that riser straight as hard as you can, and then go. Nice. You want the strap in between those knuckles? Yeah, right there. And just grab it.
Right here?
Yeah, right there. Great, great, great. Good riser. Ugh.
The riser lift was by far one of the hardest lifts I have done in my life. I was only able to get about 20 pounds for 4 or 5 solid reps on each hand, and that still felt like one of the biggest challenges I've ever had to endure. Arm wrestling training is no joke, and holy shit, it hurts your hands. I'm not gonna lie. I would need to make this video 30 minutes long in order to explain everything in depth that Ronan was talking about. So how about we get into a good old-fashioned Steven Jackson training montage before we get into the floor weights.
Oh, Father, tell me, do we get what we deserve? Oh, we get what we deserve. And where down we go, oh, 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 where down we go,
Come on.
oh, 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 oh. So where down we go, way down we go. Oh, you let your
So tell me why I go to see what our next exercise is. And my man over here pulls out the fucking thingamabob. What is that?
If you want to give a girl the best time of her life and get strong fingers, this is the perfect tool for you. It's tough. It's tough. 20 pounds never felt so heavy.
Dude, I'm actually suffering. Alright, get ready to show the camera your enlarged pronator now. There you go. Oh. Ah.
It's tough, huh? You good? Your hand good?
Yeah. Oh my god. Wow. Dude. Yeah. How many more exercises do we have?
4 or 5. Hey, we're like a quarter way through.
Arm wrestling training is not a joke.
It can get intense. It's a lot of the same aspects, but it can get pretty intense.
Oh my god.
All right.
Ow.
Hopefully those of you with short attention spans enjoyed that. Now we're going to move on to the part of the workout that Ronan calls his floor weights section. They're literally on the floor. You're picking up weights off the floor. It's pretty self-explanatory, and it sucks just as much as the other movements do. After that, you're going to get to see me take on this behemoth in a one-on-one arm wrestle, which is going to be very underwhelming. I'm probably going to get crushed, but we're going to see what we can do.
Oh, okay, what are we getting into next?
All right, so second part of the workout.
Holy shit, what is
We're
this?
about halfway through. I've got my floor weights. So we did our arm wrestling exercises off a table where we're working on the table. Now we're doing kind of a different angle off the floor. So what this is we're working on these lifts that everyone's doing. Essentially, it's just a pronation lift and a riser lift off the floor. Pronation, thumb around, and it's just a Boom, lift like that. This off the floor is a lot easier than off the table.
And for once, this guy was actually right. He filled me with a little bit of faith. It was not as difficult as on the table. I was actually able to get quite a amount of weight with this one. I believe it was around 50 or 75 for some solid reps. This lift is hard though when we get into the riser portion, as it is a lot more pressure on your tendons. But as you can see, I was actually able to get a little bit more off the floor here.
3, 2, 1.
There you go.
One more.
Nice.
Oh my god.
I only had one lift left before I could take on Ronan man-to-man, one-on-one in the ring, and that was the riser off the floor lift. As with the riser on the table, you got to be careful with these ones because you can seriously do some damage to your hand and your tendon if you're not keeping that hand upright. This one was a little bit easier, but still pretty difficult. I don't think I could get more than around 50 pounds for 4 reps. Shit, man, it was hard.
There you go. Boom. Just put my other hand on my other knee. There you go. Yeah.
No.
There you go, man. You good?
Yep. Holy moly. Jesus.
Yeah, man, that's how bad it got. I was doing sets of 4 and 5 with 25 pounds by the end of it. But my training was complete. I was finally ready to face the arm wrestling demon in what would be a battle for the ages. It's time to cue the boss music.
Dude.
Become my blade once more.
Let's see that one more time in slow motion, shall we? It hurts every time I see it. I couldn't beat him with one arm. I couldn't beat him with 2 arms. I didn't even have a chance. He kicked my fucking ass. And ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 1 of Wondrous Workouts. It's a series that I've had planned for a little while. I have an awesome expert lined up hopefully soon. If anyone is interested in arm wrestling or anything like that, all of Ronan's socials will be in the description, and you can find him at Ronan Long on YouTube. He also runs a TikTok, which I believe is under Ronan LFT. You should go check him out. He does some great things. Leave your thoughts, opinions, anything else that you think in the comments below, and like, comment, and subscribe. You know, join the association. We do great shit here every week. Hopefully, the next video won't be as long. I got really sick. I'm super sorry. But with that, I will bid you adieu. Peace out, gang.